Yes, good evening, America. It's the Cajun Libertarian Live. I am your host, the Cajun Libertarian. Glad to have you here tonight. As always, I love everybody so much. This is going to be a freaking awesome time. I got two guys from Arkansas that I just spent the weekend with, young and up and coming stars for our political movement for liberty, first and foremost. So please tune in. We are not just going to talk about what they're running for office for, because everybody knows what's going on with that. We're going to talk about what they're running for office for, and then more importantly, we're going to try and discuss exactly how we can affect change in this world and what's going on in the globe, on the globe, in the globe, on the globe, in the earth, all of the things, current events that we need to tackle, because my God, there is some nasty crap going on in our world. So stay tuned for a fantastic episode of the Cajun Libertarian Live with your host, the Cajun Libertarian, and a couple of fantastic guests next on the show. Here we go. Took me off the screen there. My bad. Absolutely. Welcome back. Thank you. Going to check your comments real quick. Let's go, says Lars for president. I'll put that on the screen real quick. Mr. Just Because Cajun. Look, Mr. Just Because has a fantastic podcast called The Lunatic Libertarian. I will be guest on there very soon. So please follow him. Go check him out. Fantastic. Melissa J. Cacao. Hey, what's going on? My wife, Sunny Days. Hey, babe, how are you? Phenomenal human being. That's why I married her. Gorgeous and absolutely fantastic. Alex says space is CGI AF, right? Yeah, that's a bunch of fun. Let me, yeah, Melissa, that's funny, right? Let me throw this up there real quick, give you all the goofy stuff real quick before we get into the interview, because that's what has to happen. Check me out on anchor.fm, the Cajun Libertarian, and Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere. Basically, you can get your podcast. Leave a 5-star rating and a review. Even if you hate me, just help me out, because I'm a poor and I am trying to help you be more free. That is the point of this show, period. There is nothing else besides I want you and me and my children and your children and the guests that I have on, their children, and everyone in between. We need to be free. We need to get back to what we're supposed to be, y'all. That's the point here. That's why I'm so passionate, and that's why you watch this show, period. All right. Oh, yeah, CajunLibertarian.com. Subscribe. I'm getting that amped up. I got a freaking amazing guy trying to help me out. Not trying. He's fantastic. So, subscribe. That'll be going real quick. Otherwise, let's get to it. Everybody says, sup, brother? Bunch of comments already. Fantastic. Let's bring them on. We got Michael White and Dakota Logan. What's going on, guys? How are you?
How's it going, brother?
Excellent. Yeah. It was a fun time in Arkansas. Dakota, did y'all decide on if you were going to be a delegate or not, or are we still waiting on that?
I'm an alternate for delegate.
Alternate for delegate. Excellent. So tell us exactly, really quick, what that means.
So Arkansas has 9 delegates possible, and all of those spots have been filled. Alternates means if someone gets sick, can't make it, then it goes to the alternate list.
Fantastic. Excellent. You guys have so many people running for office. You're running for a state house, right? What district?
District 6.
District 6 of Arkansas State House of Representatives. Fantastic. So, if you're in Arkansas, check them out. Vote for him. That's an easy one. Michael,
What's up, man?
what's going on, dude?
Waving to you from Little Rock, brother. You get back home safe?
Yeah. We got home safe. Thank you. I
Good deal. I
appreciate
mean,
that.
obviously, you're back on here, so you know.
Yep.
But a little bit of home, man.
Back
Had
here.
fun kicking it with you, man. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
time. I wasn't there Sunday to see that if you got the votes to be voted in for, what was it, city council?
No, sir, man. U.S. Congress, Arkansas
US
District
Congress.
2, and that is what I'm running for. So, yeah, I'm the nominee. It's a big deal, man. So we're excited
That is
about it,
big
pumped
deal.
about it. We're going to give them hell for
Fantastic.
sure.
Yeah. Gotta do it. My bad for getting that wrong. I don't know where I got city council from. Maybe from
That's
my
all right.
speech.
That's all
I'm
right,
not
man.
sure.
Every single one of these offices is important. We have to stack the ballot, man. We have to be a recurring theme, constant theme.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, we got to beat it up for sure. We got Monica. Yay, Michael.
What's
So,
up, Monica?
Wesley, first time here. Be gentle. Wesley, awesome. Thank you for being here. That I will not be gentle. No, that's not what we do here. We spread truth and we spread harsh truth, and that is all we do here. And if you unfollow, it is what it is. I love every single person. I'm a human lover. It sounds weird, I guess, maybe a little bit, but that's just who I am. I love people, but I love people so much that I will not be gentle because that's how much this stuff matters, y'all. This liberty, look, what's going on in our country right now is freaking unbelievable. If you're checking out what's happening in Canada, it's absolutely amazing. Kenny Johnson, don't apologize. I love you, bro. We were late too, man. No question. Jake Porter, two great candidates. I absolutely know that for sure. That's why they're on screen. There's a lot of look, when I opened my speech in Arkansas, I asked, raise your hand if you're running for office. And literally 50 to 75 people, 2/3 of them raised their hand. I've never seen anything like that. That's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. And what that does is set a precedent and an expectation for the rest of us in the country to say, hey, look, we have to do this. We got to do it. We have no time left. This is our chance right now. Melissa, the truth isn't always gentle, it's always good. You ain't lying. That's for sure. I try to always package it as best as possible because, again, I love everyone. That's just who I am. But truth must come first. Morgan Dow, you know MSM is going to take that out of oh you know they will, Morgan, absolutely. But you know what, you can come back and check the show. It's on YouTube, it's on anchor.fm, all the places I said. So if anything's taken out of context, no worries. So lots and lots of comments rolling in. Let's check this one because it's about Dakota and Michael. So excited about the show tonight. Hi, Dakota and Michael from Miranda Corum. What's going on, Miranda? Watching from YouTube. Thank you. YouTube is tough, y'all. I'm talking about tough. Tough. All right. So get after it. Get those votes, says Mr. Just Because. So let's talk about what's happening, right? We'll start with Michael real quick. I'm gonna put you up here.
All right, my man.
You've seen what's happening with Russia and what's going on. Of course, that doesn't apply to Arkansas specifically. But when you get into the House of Representatives of Arkansas, there will be legislation that you're going to have to either vote no on, try to reconcile, or revamp. And this Russia thing with what Biden's doing is remarkably weird to me, and it will affect all of us. So what are your opinions on what's going on with this? Should we intervene? Should we do anything? Should we back off completely?
So, I mean, that's a really good question because it strikes at the heart of kind of what the movement's about, right? I mean, the Constitution specifically gives war powers, obviously, to Congress. This interventionism that we've been doing for pretty much since World War II. I mean, it's been just a failed experiment that has done nothing but profit the military-industrial complex. That's who benefits, right? My view is pretty simple. We have human beings coming back from a 20-year conflict that are not being taken care of by federal funding and defense spending. We have no business getting into something across the world with Ukraine. No business whatsoever. This is why Thomas Jefferson and the founding fathers warned us against entangling alliances. NATO, if Ukraine is going to be in NATO, if Ukraine is not going to be in NATO, until something represents a direct threat to America, my stance is we're backing off this. We have people to take care of today. And if I have one more veteran killing themselves because they're not getting mental health treatment, I'm not spending money shipping tanks across the world. Period. End of story. That's my take on it, man.
No, that's freaking amazing. I love that absolutely, because we have so many vets that are struggling right now. I personally believe there's no reason we should be in that, but there are things that this administration are doing that are absolutely detrimental. So let me go to Dakota. What do you think is going on with this administration and in Russia? Are they antagonizing? Are they doing stupid things? What's going on?
I agree with Michael. We shouldn't be involved. It always seems like it's a cat and mouse game. This has been an ongoing thing for several years, back and forth with Putin. I think he's always testing just to see the mettle of every president he's dealt with. And I think he's just kind of testing again. Obviously, things are escalating, but we shouldn't be involved. I suggest everyone goes back and listens to the exit speech of Dwight Eisenhower when he left office as president. He warned us to watch out for the war hawks. Very careful and not allow the industrial military complex to get involved and take over. That's exactly what's happened.
No doubt. So, with what they're doing right now, I personally believe that we're actually antagonizing the situation, and we're making this worse. I agree 100% with what you said, and I'm just not sure why we keep getting on TV and talking about this as if it's something that we have to deal with. Is damn sure not anything that Arkansas has to deal with, even though I have a comment right here that says Arkansas is deeply involved in the military-industrial complex, but isn't every state?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, in regards to Arkansas and what you're doing up there, how can you help? Let's say if you get to the campaign trail and you kill it and knock it out the park, then you have to deal with people on both sides of the aisle. You know, how can you build coalitions to either get legislation passed or abolish certain legislation to get Arkansas kind of like incrementally, obviously it's not going to happen overnight, incrementally uninvolved with this military industrial complex? Or is that even possible?
On my level, the only thing I can do is help raise awareness by focusing on, hey, we've got veterans here that aren't being taken care of. Why are we not spending more time and effort on that? Why are we working on making more people suffer when we have people at home that are suffering? Community minded. And I really think that all of us, if we're all community minded and we all focus on community minded, that's what's going to spread.
I absolutely agree. You're speaking my language. Let's work this thing from the bottom up, right? Because at the end of the day, it's we the people. And if we get the community involved, even our local state house, like what you're running for in Arkansas, we can affect change. We can be loud. We can be voices to say, look, we're not on board with this. And I think 100% most Americans are not on board with going to war again. And so we need to be loud. We need people like Dakota spreading the message through the community. And then that message will reach further and further and further. And so, yeah, I think you're spot on, dude. As always, right? I mean, just bottom up. Melissa says, be the change.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Bottom up. Absolutely. That's what we need to do. I think Dakota is spot on right there. You start talking to people in your community, you get people passionate, you get people fired up, and then they will call their representatives, they will call their Congress, and we're going to say, you got to change. You have to stop what you're doing because, like Melissa said, and I agree, Melissa J. Cacao, we are 100% making this worse. Well, you know what? These people, they're scared of us. You know what? They might think that Dakota and Michael are just nobodies if they get into state house or they're right now. But you know what? They're not, because we're people that affect real change. We're people that talk to everyone in the community and try to get them to understand and just reach them where they're at on their level and change, or not necessarily change, just really relate. We just have to relate. Most Americans don't want, this is nonsense to them. And I think wholeheartedly they believe this is incredibly bad and we have absolutely no business in this. And I think that most people understand that this administration is making this worse. And so we need every single voice. We need every single body, not just Dakota, not just Michael, who's running for office doing much more than I'm doing to sit behind a damn microphone and a computer screen, posting memes all day. I'm nobody. These are the real soldiers going out on the streets, talking to people. Even if you can't win, they're still going to win in their communities by changing hearts, changing minds, and getting people passionate and motivated about how we can change our country. Sorry about that rant right there. I'm a little fired up because it's just amazing to me that this administration continues to drive this rhetoric when I believe personally the vast majority of us are like, what the are you doing?
Right.
Shut your mouth and let them deal with it. What is your problem? Anyway, can't stand it. Hate it. All of it. Michael,
Yeah, man.
let's go back to you. So
Dude,
let's say you.
the sentiment is shared, man. I hate it too. I was enjoying the rant thoroughly. I'm feeling you there. I really like this comment we got here, man. Where's it at? Colt saying it's a wag the dog situation, man. I 100% agree.
Right.
The two-party politics system exists because it's able to create an issue and another side can promise a solution. They can keep swapping back and forth. That's why the duopoly is evil. And that's why it continues to fail people. And that's what we really got to get through to people is that as long as that system is in place, we can talk a lot, we can introduce legislation, we can change hearts and minds, but we have a systemic problem that requires us to a systemic change. And injecting a real third party, injecting liberty into this country in a significant way legislatively across every office in the country is how we do that, man. So I like that comment, man. I really did.
Yeah, that was a great comment. It's actually phenomenal because if we were actually to be able and inject a third party, like if we could actually really, and I think we will, I think we're incrementally there. I think there's an opportunity for a great boost. But if we actually were able to introduce another option or even, thank God, a fourth, fifth, and sixth option, I think all options are the best. Every option is the best because if you introduce competition, right? We've seen this happen over the years. The Democrats and the Republicans have both stolen, they have absolutely co-opted our ideas. And if you implement them, fine, great. I don't care who gets the credit. Thank God that you're implementing libertarian ideology into the community. But what we have to have is more people standing up and fighting against the system, opening up more options, because you know what? When competition is involved, guess what happens? It makes everybody better, or it makes the people who don't care, they quit. And you know what? If you don't care that much, you can quit. I don't care if you don't. Go home, sit on the couch. But if there's competition involved, it makes every single person better. Introduce competition. If we can make the Democrats better, hallelujah, thank God. Give me some criminal justice reform. Give me some damn legal cannabis. It's medicinal. Give me all the things that you preach and you actually don't care about. If you're Republican, give me my Second Amendment. Stop talking nonsense and give me what we're talking about. Give us what we deserve, what we're legally not obliged to, but we have rights to. Do the things that you're supposed to do, and we can do that with extra competition, even if we don't get the credit. Sorry, I'm just a little fired up about that. That was fantastic because, my God, if we can make it, I said this in the breakout, if we can make the other parties better just by making them scared, do it. Do it. And you know what? They're scared. You know why they're scared? Because they're keeping people like Michael and Dakota off the bat. They're keeping people from being able to access ballot and get their name out there. Name recognition, LP Green Party, who cares? We're libertarians, right? But we need all of the options. And they are scared. That's why they fight so hard to keep us off the ballot. We need competition and we need it now. So, all right. Sorry, a little bit. Melissa, don't apologize for your fire, friend. Yeah, no, but I got guests on, right? I don't want to be the one talking the whole time. They're sitting on the little side screen. I got guests running for office. We're trying to change the world. I'm over here doing my thing. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. Monday is my day, right? Monday is the day that I'm supposed to be here by myself, talking about cultural issues, talking about world events, global happenings. And I've got these guys on who are much better at this stuff. And I want to get back to them because I really wanted to talk to them about this stuff right after Arkansas because everybody's fired up. And I have never, ever, there's like 4 or 5 conventions I've been invited to. I've never seen so many people running for office. And that is incredible. So let me ask you this while we're on that topic. Melissa, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Dakota, every time you get a notification, dude, it's like blowing up. Blowing up. I'm sure it's on vibrate. But anyway, I'm going to go to you first. Dakota, what made you decide to throw yourself into the mix of this? There we go. What made you decide to run for office and put your name out there and take this beating that's about to happen and hopefully you win through the beating anyway?
Well, I've been a member of the Arkansas LP for about a year. I had a buddy that was at state convention last year and had posted something online. I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm at state convention. I said, well, what's that? And he said, well, this is where we vote and nominate people to run for office. You should be here. And I said, well, how do I do that? And he sent me a link and I joined the LP and that's what got the ball rolling. I'm the chair affiliate for Carroll County. I actually live in Eureka Springs. For anybody out there that's curious where I'm at, I'm in Eureka Springs. That's Carroll County, Arkansas. Eureka Springs is a popular tourist destination. So our state did a big campaign because of how well Ricky Harrington Jr. did running against Tom Cotton in the Senate. And so what they did was that everyone that had ever been on a mailing list for the Libertarian Party, they sent them a letter that said, run with Ricky. He's running for governor. And that is where all of these people came in, is they got a letter in the mail. And they all stepped up and they all answered the call. And when we talk about people getting involved and starting from the bottom, what we saw here was people answering a letter in the mail, going to a website and saying, what do I need to do? That's how this started. All of those people that showed up that you saw, Cajun, were people who answered a letter in the mail, filled out an online form, paid their fees, showed up and said, what can I do to help? How can I serve my community? And so that's where all this started. That's how we got to where we're at.
Yeah, a lot of people got a letter in the mail. I tried to explain that to somebody on how so many people in Arkansas were running for office. Wasn't it one person that decided to send out a bunch of like physical letters and invite everyone to come run for office? Is that how that happened?
it was Wes Benedict, and Wes Benedict has done huge work in Texas and Pennsylvania.
Ah,
And he's the one that does mailers. He has been the one who's been helping every single person with paperwork. And Wes was there this weekend, and while people were there, he was on his computer checking people out, double checking the people that weren't there yet. He was calling them, emailing them, saying, "Hey, can you still make it?" Making sure everybody's paperwork was legit. I mean, Wes is a man on fire. He is so helpful, and the background work that he did when he came and talked to us at the executive committee meeting.
right.
The numbers in Pennsylvania and the numbers in Texas made us decide to bring him on to help us, because the work he does is these mailers, mailing people. He is the guru of figuring out, going through mailing lists, finding out who voters are, getting in touch with people, getting people registered, getting people on the ballot. Wes Benedict, that's the guy. That's the guy that really helped make all this happen.
That's absolutely amazing. So let me finish this comment right here, and then. So what I would say with that is, you had one person, literally one, doing massive amounts of work. And I would say that sending out letters and calling people, that's not that difficult. It's not that bad. That's not that hard of work. And look how many people are running for office in Arkansas now. Just because one person decided that they were going to send out letters, do a little bit of work, do a little bit of extra work, and now we've got, God, I don't know, like 30 candidates in Arkansas running for office. Wesley Renaud, sorry, I didn't mean to show that comment up there. Yeah, that's the tiniest page. I just started that page because Facebook just absolutely hates me. I'm talking about hates me. So I keep creating new pages to try to get around their shadow bans and all that. Go to the main page. That's probably where everybody's commenting. So, oh, wow. Melissa J. Cal says 53 candidates. 53. 53. It's 5 to 6 with the amount of people that they had in that room on average. 53. Unbelievable. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I opened it and I said, raise your hand if you're running for office. And I'm sure everybody in there was stunned at my face, because I was stunned at how many arms went up. Never was expecting that. Threw me off for a second. I'm like, oh my God, how am I supposed to address this? How am I supposed to talk about this? This is remarkable. So many people running for office in Arkansas, and it only took one person to send out letters. Michael, did you get the same letter?
I think I was the only person that didn't get a letter. I
Wow.
think Wes had sent one to me apparently, but it went to an old address. But no, I kind of routed the decision kind of organically over a couple months after watching Ricky and seeing everything that happened in the 2020 race, and we were coming up on another one, and the redistricting map came out in November of 2021, and looked over at the wife one night and said, "Babe, I think I'm want to run for office," and then that just kind of started that thing. But Wes killed it, man. I mean, that speaks a lot to the power of just one person, one thing, and the power of, getting people on the ballot and ballot access. And what I like about you, man, is you bring up a topic a lot of people don't mention a lot, which is ballot access and how big of a deal that is. I mean, so for the office I'm running for, U.S. Congress, my application fee to run was $250. Okay. Not a crazy amount of money. If I want to run for that same office as a Republican in this state, 25,000. Okay. So they want to get on there and say, "Oh, we're of the people for the people." Not really, man. You got to have 25,000 just to throw away for a primary that you're probably not going to win, just to try to change a conversation. There very much is this attitude of protectionism and almost a political embargo being created by the two parties. They got it like they want it, and if people really knew how much they got it like they wanted, our movement would be even bigger than it is. And that's what my intention is, man. Same with you. We want to occupy offices, but we also want to occupy hearts and minds. And the best thing we can do is get on the ballot, run for office, talk to people about ballot access. And then in this fight in Arkansas specifically is about fighting to maintain ballot access. Our gubernatorial candidate, Ricky, he's got to get that 3%. Like, we have to be regular appearances consistently. Like you talk about incrementalism, every election cycle, we're hitting them back. And if we're growing 1 or 2% per year, eventually things change.
Yeah.
But it has to start somewhere, man. So long story short, no, I didn't get a letter. And at first I didn't know what was going on. I was wondering if I was like the oddball out, like they didn't want to send me one or something, but it all worked out pretty good, man. It all worked out pretty fine.
Yeah, no, that's good. Let everybody know again what district you're running in.
This is Congressional District 2 for Arkansas. So this is Central Arkansas. This is all around Little Rock, basically. It's been redrawn, but just think Central Arkansas.
Fantastic.
Thanks, man.
That's amazing. So Little Rock. In Dakota, what district are you running for?
District 6.
And what area is that?
That's Carroll County.
Carroll County. All right. Very good. So let's go ahead.
For somebody that doesn't have a map or doesn't know where Eureka Springs is, it's in the northwest corner. A little background: Northwest Arkansas, Walmart, the home of Walmart, is in Benton County, Arkansas. That's the county over that borders. Completely different worlds. A lot of farmland, very rural area where I'm at. So
we love rural
a little
area.
bit.
Dakota, your internet may be breaking up a little bit. I'm going to move over here and let you resolve that for a second. So we got two guys, fantastic, up and coming. Obviously, what we have going on and what we need, right? We're like, oh, look at the people in Congress right now. They're so old. Everybody's so old.
Yes.
We've got to get rid of these people. We need young and up-and-coming stars, and that's what we have going on in Arkansas. Personally, I've interviewed people all over the country, and that's what the Libertarian Party is presenting, because that's what our country needs. What the hell do we want to hear from somebody who's 80 years old and they have 15 seconds left to live? I've got 3 kids. 2 of them are under 5. I'm the person that's trying to change this country because of my children. We need young people that are on fire and on fire for liberty. And that's what we have going on in Arkansas. That's what we have with Michael. That's what we have Dakota. And it's freaking amazing. Monica says term limits. Yeah, I agree with term limits. I also agree with, if you're freaking 95,000 years old, stop voting for these people. They got 5 seconds to live. What do they care about your future? They could care less about your future. None of them care about your future. They're about to die. They're just trying to make money. Sorry if that offends people. I'm just being honest. I rearranged my setup here, so I'm whacking stuff. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, and that's a great segue into some other things that are going on, because these people are making decisions based on their behalf. They don't care what happens to me. They don't care what happens to you. They don't care what happens to Dakota. They don't care what happens to Michael or any of our children. And my God, Michael, you got 2 teenagers.
That's right.
And you're about my age. What in the world made you decide to run?
Man, I mean, I've been asking myself that question, obviously, but it's true. I mean, I think every single person in this country, unless they're blind, stupid, or just not walking around, has seen that this thing is just evolving quickly. I mean, we were talking, those of us who have been around libertarianism and libertarian ideas have been talking about these ideas, probably most of us of our age and our ilk, probably since around the Patriot Act, right? That's probably when we started becoming aware of these issues. We have exponentially increased into the level of tyranny, government overreach, federal intrusion on individuals' lives, onerous taxation, increased regulation, politicians who seem to find a way to constantly benefit off the harm of the people. And so, man, again, we can sit around the couch, we can talk, we can bitch around the Thanksgiving, table, We can send memes to people, but at some point in time, you got to start doing something. You know, you got to start doing it. And I was in a position in life where I was able to. And man, that's why I did it, man. I mean, honestly, I just tired of bitching and wanted to start doing something, man.
You know what? That's freaking phenomenal, because that's exactly the kind of fire that we need. We need that from everybody that's under 500 years old. We stop electing people that don't have any interest in the future of this country. And the people that are in Congress right now, they could care less. Let me I'm going to let Dakota clarify this. Let me get back to the question, because that's a very important question. Kerry already answered it, state Senate, but I still want to let Dakota talk about it. Can't find the comment now, but go ahead, Dakota. Somebody asked you if you're running for U.S. Senate or state Senate. So give us the answer and then let us know why you decided state Senate versus House or U.S.
For state House of Representatives. So I'll be representing state Carroll County District. And it's funny, I don't want to harp, but I completely agree. The incumbent that's in the position that I'm running for is 75 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It should be an easy slam dunk.
That's why I'm going to give it a run. I'm going to go out and talk to people. I think that that's what's most important is the people of our age group, and particularly libertarians, have spent a lot of time the last 2 or 3 years sharing snarky memes on the internet. And this is the time for us to get up and get involved and run for office. I'm in the same boat. I've got a couple of teenagers that are about to be adults, and I really felt the call to do something bigger than myself and to give back in the future. And instead of just complaining about how bad things are, I have to get involved. But one of the things that somebody had mentioned, term limits. The fact that Gary Johnson talked about term limits when he was running for governor, and that he effectively eliminated his own job, is what made me decide that libertarians were the people that I wanted to hang out with, and why I voted for Gary Johnson the first time. Yeah. That's where it started. That a man actually said, no, we need term limits to keep ourselves honest, and he eliminated his own job. I'm like, man, you got me. That's where it started for me. And same boat. If I get the opportunity to serve my community in this way in the House of Representatives, term limits. It needs to happen. And even if it doesn't go anywhere, even if they laugh me off, I can at least say that I made the attempt and that I'm representing the people, because there's
absolutely
anybody who's going to tell you, oh no, career politicians are a good thing. Show me one. You can't. Right. Everyone agrees on this issue except for the people that are already there, that have been there my entire life. They got to go. But for them to go, we have to step up and challenge them and seize the opportunity and do this.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And I think that America, and not just America, I'm talking about like everybody we come in contact to, right? Remember what I talked about when I said I was damn serious. I wasn't joking. People laugh at that, right? They think I'm joking when I say I start, conversations with people all the time and literally tell them, yeah, I understand your problem. I hear you. I care about you. But your problem is because the government sucks. That's my phrase. I use it every day. Nobody will disagree with that. It's 100% effective. Whatever you can relate to in any American life, in any one American's life, you can always find way to bring it back to how the government sucks. And when it's in y'all's position, Dakota and Michael, you're in a deep red state. I imagine Arkansas is a deep red state. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's going to be some blue areas. Little Rock may be a blue area or
Very
a
blue.
purple area, Michael, where you got an opportunity to kind of spread the real libertarian message all the way across the board. If you're like me, it's a completely red area. But either way, these people are hungry. America is in thirst and hunger for something different. We have to do something different right now. Michael, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the area that you're in purple, blue, red? What is it like?
All right, so again in U.S. congressional district. French Hill is currently the sitting congressman. He's a Republican. He won by like 4 percentage points, 5 percentage points in the last election with the turnout. I want to say about 300,000 voters. Okay, so you had about a 40% turnout. That gives you an idea of kind of what you're looking at. It's a pretty even split. A lot of kind of old money Democrats in central Little Rock. Someone in southeast, but you get further out rural, right? You get toward the Air Force Base. You get out to some other places, Conway and stuff like that. A lot deeper
Right.
red. But so yeah, man. I mean, you could call it a purple place if you wanted to. I call it like a red map with a blue bullseye. To be honest, I mean, it's
Okay.
definitely separate and distinct, man.
Okay. That makes sense. I really like that terminology right there. A red area with a blue bullseye. That's actually probably the majority of the country. If you look at the electoral map and you actually look at how people vote, the entire country is a predominantly red map with certain blue bullseyes. I've never heard that before, so thank you. That's fantastic. I'm absolutely stealing that one.
It's
So
all yours, man. Take it, dude. Take it.
I appreciate it. I'll give you credit though.
All right,
Sure,
man.
I'll give
Thanks,
you
man.
credit. Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. So let's get to the kind of the next subject of if we're talking about who we're talking to and we're running for office, how do you think we can reach the people in your area? Because let's be honest, it's not just about reaching people in Arkansas. We're trying to reach people around the globe. And I know Arkansas is maybe a little bit freer state with the COVID mandates and all that kind of stuff, but we still have some real issues like when it comes to cannabis reform and things of that nature and police reform. What are you looking to do to change your area and effectively set a precedent for the United States in order to, let's say you get in, right? You win your seat and you're able to build coalitions within Arkansas to kind of change legislation in the right direction in victimless crimes. Do you have some sort of plan for that? Do you have people you've already talked to? What do you think?
Man, I mean, we talked kind of, that night at the mixer. I'm a big believer in incrementalism. I think that some of the failure of any movement is the oversell, right? You got to
Yeah.
get people slowly. I mean, you've had people that have been rooted in ideologies for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? You're not going to move them instantly over to the other side of the table. We have medical marijuana in Arkansas. A very, very simple, easy political sell, in my opinion, on a state level is expand conditions for use. I think that just really requires some administrative stuff and maybe a sign off from the legislative council. You could add 1,000 conditions on that list, and all of a sudden you've essentially legalized marijuana in Arkansas. For a lot of people, that moves it forward a little bit more, right, on state level.
Are y'all looking to? Are y'all
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off? Are you
Yeah.
looking to legalize cannabis? Or are you wanting to decriminalize it? Because I have a strong feeling about that. I would much rather, personally, from my understanding of it, I would much rather it be decriminalized instead of legalized. Because if we legalize it, from my understanding, again, that means the government gets to wrap their hands around it. But if we decriminalize it, then it's just we can do what we want with it, and we won't get any charges. Is there a difference in Arkansas where you're at?
Man, so let's like talk about again. The real thing is the Controlled Substances Act on a national level. Okay,
All right.
let's be honest. That's where everything starts out at. On state levels, that's what we can do. Some medical marijuana stuff. We can get some things going. We can have our discussions of decriminalization or legalization. I have some things to say about how that has worked in other states too. As far as, again, there's been crony capitalist ideas that have happened. It's big cannabis is a problem in my opinion. You have 1 or 2 people that are controlling 5 or 6 licenses, and all of a sudden, guess what? The richest people in the state have them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, imagine that, dude. It's crazy how that works out. But the Controlled Substances Act is archaic. It is old. It is not effective, and it doesn't work well. And so, again, my big thing is a repeal or replacement of that. I mean, we have, I don't even know the number at this point in time of scheduled substances that are on that act. But a vast number of them, cannot be studied, cannot be researched.
Right.
When you have scientists that are going, hey, we have a mental health crisis amongst veterans and people in this country. It's massively bad. We have veterans and people killing themselves all the time, man. And they have solutions out there with psychedelics, and they have to bend over backwards to be able to study them. That's an impediment to progress, right? So on a national level, that's where that starts. On a state level, man, again, I think the incremental approach is you take what you got, you work with it, you move it forward, you move it forward, you move it forward. We're playing chess here, not checkers. We have to be honest about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, expand medical access. You do that for a couple years, then you can go ahead and you can move into some decriminalization, legalization discussions. But they need to be incremental, because any of these policies that we make rashly, I find that the people in power find a way to benefit off it again. Again, if you move it forward slowly, they don't have time to game plan for that. They don't have time to call their crony buddies on Wall Street and go ahead and get on the back end of it. That's my opinion, And again, I always say when I give my opinion, that's the most libertarian thing I can do, man, is give you my opinion, Again,
if that's the case, then I'm the most libertarian person ever, because that's all the thing I do is just sit on here and give my damn opinions.
Absolutely. But yeah, the Controlled Substances Act is more of a hindrance now than it is a benefit to anybody. And that has to be addressed. And again, when you make moves like that on key, targeted, archaic and old and burdensome legislation, I think it also points out to the voters when they see inaction from their other representatives in other places of the country. I mean, who doesn't believe that the 50-year-old drug laws in this country at least need to be reworked? I think 100% of people can agree on that, right?
Everybody wants this. Everybody wants this.
And whether they're legalized, decriminalized, or just reworked, everybody probably agrees they're inefficient and we need to look at them. So you make a point in Congress and you say, we need to call this to the table and discuss this. And it instantly shows the population who really gives a shit about them and who doesn't. Instantly. Yep. And that's the kind of things that libertarians have to be thinking about too, from a legislative strategy standpoint, is not just change, but also identifying the people that are all in this for themselves. Period.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic response. I think you're spot on. And I think if you are able to make the right, if you can get boots on the, in a team and get boots on the ground, and you start talking about this kind of stuff with Arkansanians, is that right? Arkansans?
Arkansans.
Arkansans. Okay.
You can call us whatever, man. We're good. We like everybody.
That's why Les Miles, our old LSU football coach, used to call it Arkansas.
Yeah.
Y'all called it Arkansans from Arkansas, and he eats grass. So I'm sorry. We had him for
a long time.
Game. I apologize. Yeah. I got to put this up here real quick. Kenny Johnson says Michael White has a better beard than Cajun. Kenny Johnson, you've never met us in person. I've seen Michael White in person. If you look right behind his chin, there's not much hair there. Mine is thick as freaking a bush. So you know what, Kenny Johnson, you're banned from the show. That's how that works. So I want to move to Dakota real quick and ask you a question. Tell me if I'm wrong or not, but from what I understood earlier, you're in kind of a farm area. Is that correct?
Well, it's funny. Michael and I kind of have the same situation. Eureka Springs is a tourist town, and it's a little tiny blue dot in a big red county.
Okay.
So we kind of have some of the same deal. We've got people on both sides to connect with, and we were talking about the something that I've seen done on a local level, and it happened in Eureka Springs, was they made simple possession. I'm trying to think of the word that they used. Low priority. Then if you were carrying under a certain amount, they might write you a ticket, or they might say, "Meh, we don't care." Local city cops in Eureka Springs didn't care. They called it low priority, and if you had a joint, you had less than an ounce or something, they didn't care. And so there is moves in that direction, but the overall legalization and decriminalization, we're not there yet. There was a ballot, an amendment a few years ago that was a good one, that would have completely decriminalized and made legal recreational. And they claimed a day or two before the election that there was an issue with signatures on the petition, and they kicked it out. So that left the other one, which allowed medical, but it was very restrictive, and it's what was voted because I think people got a little impatient, and they voted for an amendment that passed that kind of did what Michael was talking about. The few people that were allowed to have dispensaries had money. It was kind of like when we legalized the lottery here. There was only
Right.
a few people that were allowed to have it, and well, we're not a part of that club. We don't have.
Why are you not?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Why aren't you a part of that club? What disqualifies you from being? What disqualifies any Arkansas or Arkansan from being a part of to be able to partake in any of this?
I would say that it's very simple. We don't have enough money.
Oh wow.
It was definitely set up where people, quote unquote, in power or that had money and were connected were the ones that got the bids to have the casinos in Arkansas. They're the ones that were going to benefit from what they were going to loosen up as far as medical marijuana production here. It wasn't going to be a free for all for the people. It was definitely decided that there had to be control, and the people that had that control were people that they had already decided should have control.
Wow. Tari says state regulations and costs to start up. So ultimately, it leads down to always the same freaking answer. It's government intrusion, government involvement, making everything effing worse and ruining our lives. When if the real answer is if you would just get out of the damn way, hallelujah, we could do some things, right? Kenny Johnson, I already told you were banned from the show, but here's a good comment. GoFundMe for Dakota. I refuse to use GoFundMe after the thing in Canada. So twice now, Kenny Johnson, you're banned from the show. Hate that comment. I'm just kidding. Kenny's all over my stuff, man. I love Kenny, so I feel comfortable joking with him. Yeah, Morgan Dow, always spot on with the censorship. Love it. Thank you. GoFundMe. I fail more than Morgan does. Morgan's an awesome teammate. He's always here. I want to go back to another comment real quick. Just have a little fun here. Melissa J. Jacow. Not going to lie, I thought Michael White was the Cajun Libertarian at the meet and greet on Friday until someone corrected me. You are absolutely unequivocally banned from the damn show now. That's for sure. What the hell? No, I'm just kidding, Melissa. It's funny because I think, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but your wife said that she thought we looked just alike or something like that.
Yeah, she walked up behind you. She goes, "You look just like my husband from behind." Like, yeah,
That's hilarious.
the hat and everything, and there we go, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we got the dark beard and the dark skin and the same style, so that's pretty funny. Let me ask you this. So we're at about 54 minutes here. I'm gonna give you both about 2 minutes to just rail, 2 to 3 minutes apiece. I'll start with you, Dakota. Let us know, what are your main points? What do you feel the strongest about that you want to change in Arkansas and set precedent so that everybody else in America can be more freaking free and we can open people's eyes to what we're trying to do and vote against the things that have been happening in our country? Give it to us, my man.
One of the biggest things that I learned while I was at convention this weekend, the number one thing that we can all do is get off your butt and start going to city council meetings and quorum court meetings. Get involved locally. See where your city officials are wasting your tax dollars. See where your county officials are wasting your tax dollars. Complain about it. Make it difficult. Make your voice heard. Then run for office. Run for city council. Run for JP. Run for county judge. Because you don't have to be a lawyer to be a county judge. Run for city clerk. Run for treasurer. Get in there. Get involved. I'll tell this as quickly as I can. There are two members in the county that we're going to quorum court zoning meetings. In Benton County, the county next to us, there was a proposition to rebuild the courthouse in Bentonville for $35 million. Two libertarians showed up and pressed the issue and got it tabled. And they actually went and paid another architect to redesign the same building with the same parameters. And they represented the idea and said, we don't have to spend $35 million. We have plans wrote up by an actual architect, and we could spend half the money. They got the whole thing quashed. They saved Benton County taxpayers $35 million because they showed up, they got involved, they paid attention, and they used their voice.
Wow.
Get off your butts, get involved. That's what I'm saying. We can all do this if we will just get involved. Get down there,
Amen.
Get involved. That is the one thing I want to drive home, is that we all have the opportunity, and we all need to grasp it if we want this to go anywhere. And we do. Arkansans do. 53 people said we do. We're tired and we want change.
Yep.
So get involved, people. Get off your butts. Get to quorum court meetings. Get to city council meetings. Start there. Start local. Make your voice heard. Don't let your city officials waste your money. Don't let your county officials waste your money. Keep them honest. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's freaking fantastic. I love every word of that. Mainly just get involved. Everybody's sick. Everybody's fed up. We have to turn this around immediately. Dakota, when is your election, and how can people make sure they can donate to your election and vote for you?
Honestly, this just happened over the weekend. I don't have any of that set up yet. But I have a feeling that you're probably going to let us come back and
Yes.
give you a progress report on where things are at.
Correct. With a better internet connection, though.
I live out in the sticks and I rely on a hotspot. I'm cheap. I don't pay for internet.
I'm cheap too, bro. It's all right.
But I'll figure it out. It will get better, I promise.
Hey, look, you just refer to Joe Biden. You can go to McDonald's where nobody else goes and sit in their parking lot for Wi-Fi because we're like 13 years past that. But hey, Joe Biden said it, so it's all good.
I don't give them my money.
Amen. Absolutely. Thank you, my man. You are awesome. We are absolutely, you're spot on. We're going to have a progress report. Your election is in 2022, right? November 2022?
It is in November, yeah.
Okay. So the advice that I would give to you off the top, just from speaking with tons of people that I've never run for office. I'm not equipped to run for office. I've got a large criminal record, all that crap. I'm probably never going to run for office, but I speak to a lot of people. I interview a lot of people that run for office. So I get my experience from them. What I would suggest is that if you don't already, make sure you get a website. Make sure that you get plugged in on all of the internet sites. Let everybody know where you're going to be running, what it's going to take to get you on the ballot, and your passion, right? That's the most important part. The passion is the most important part. So when you build that website, which is really easy, it doesn't cost a lot of money. We can help you raise it. I'll personally help you raise it if we got to. And get you a website, get you going, and make sure that we get your name out there. You're already going to be out in the streets. I know you're passionate because I've talked to you all weekend, and you're freaking phenomenal. So whatever we got to do, we'll get you back out there. We'll get a progress report. Let me know what I can do to help, and then we will absolutely get you on the books and get your name out there. Thank you, Dakota, very much, my man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Michael, give me about 90 seconds. Where you're running, how can people vote for you? Why should people vote for you? Let us know.
All right, man. Yeah, U.S. Congress District 2, right here, Central Arkansas. Right now, the campaign just got kind of incubated. We got one thing rolling right now. Just follow me at Twitter, at MW, the number 4 Liberty, MW4 Liberty. Everything until we get everything else set up will just be updated there. Soon campaign links and everything and donations. And I will definitely appreciate your support. my biggest issue, biggest thing that I got, and I want to drive this home to everybody. So, Cajun, you're from Louisiana, right? So
Yes.
you've probably heard this before. If you don't want possums on the porch, you bring the cat food inside, right? Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want critters and vermin around something, you remove the incentive for them to be there, right? My big thing is if we take the money out of politics, we ain't even got to worry about term limits. They won't even show up for the first term. So my big issue is I wish that candidates, I believe, need to have a non-compete agreement with American citizens whereby they are divested from their investments in publicly traded and private companies held in cash, can't invest in the market again for a couple of years after they leave. We get real servants in office. We do that, man. I think it all starts to get better, to be honest. It becomes a government of the people, for the people, by the people. And that's my main message, man. But yeah, again, y'all guys follow me on Twitter. I need all the followers, all the retweets, everything. And then here in about a week, probably, man, website, all that stuff starts going up. And I appreciate everyone's support and really appreciate this opportunity, Cajun, to be on here, man. This show's really cool, man. Thanks for doing this, dude.
Man, that's an incredible compliment. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. I'm honored to have you guys on the show. I was super honored to be at Arkansas. I don't even know what to call it anymore. I got people that I talk to behind the scenes, and they call it imposter syndrome. And I'm like, it's not imposter syndrome because I'm not an imposter. I'm just a nobody. I'm just a guy that rants, right, and share my feelings and passion. It's super great opportunity to even talk to people like Michael and Dakota who are actually doing real things and wanting to affect real change, making the sacrifice to get out there and do things to help us build to a better country. I feel so freaking honored just to be here and be able to talk to these people. It's amazing. I can't thank you enough, Michael and Dakota, and I'll absolutely follow up with you guys. Progress report. I'm amazed at what's going on in Arkansas. And remember that this doesn't just deal with Arkansas, y'all. Everything that we talk about, everything that we do, everything that we want to pass is called precedent. And other states can use it, and other states will follow suit. So we absolutely need to set the bar, set the precedent, and go. Kenny Johnson, thank you for reminding me because I just went on a freaking rant again and almost forgot. Social media for the guests. I know, Michael, you said follow you on Twitter. Do you have any other areas? Again, like I was suggesting to Dakota, Michael, I would suggest a Facebook page, a legitimate page.
Absolutely.
Get you a legitimate Twitter. Get you a legitimate IG. You guys are running for office. You can get blue checks easily. Do all of those things. Can people follow you on all of those platforms?
They will be able to be soon. Yeah, this is again incubation stage. Tomorrow we're filing paperwork because I'm running for federal office. I have some other things that I have to do before I can set up some donation things. I want everything to kind of be set the right way. So right now, that's like kind of just the incubation place. The place for the early people that want to get in and say they were there from day one is the Twitter. That Twitter will update. I'll keep informing the Libertarian Party and different groups of wherever things change. But yeah, I do have a personal Facebook. It's Michael White. I'm also a realtor in Little Rock with Remax Elite, so you can find me that way kind of too. That's my personal Facebook page. You can add me there as a friend. I'll be connecting that to my campaign site as well. So man, I'll be on all the things, man. I'll have all the things, man. It'll be on all of them. Dude,
all of the things.
All the things.
Dakota, gotta have all the things.
Yeah.
It's 2020 something. You gotta have all the things. I'm losing count of the years because I'm with 3 kids and dad and full-time job, wife, got 57,000 social media accounts. It's 2022. I know what it is, but Dakota, where can people follow you? And before you answer that, Dakota, real quick, both of you, as soon as you get everything set up, let me know, and I will share them out everywhere. And then we'll have you on again. I'll even talk about it on the next show next week. Yeah, this week I've got somebody super special, so I won't say it then because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything for the guests just like I did for y'all. But next time I'm alone, which will probably be next Monday, I'll make sure to mention and put them up as banners. If y'all can get all of your social medias going by this time next week, I'll be sure to talk about it and share it next Monday. Dakota, where can people follow you right now, and where can people follow you in the future?
Right now, I just have a private Facebook page right now, but by next week I'll have something set up.
Okay. Yeah, you're froze up too, so that internet connection, that's just going to happen. Dakota, message me. Let me know if you need any help. same thing. I've got like 3-4 different pages that I've set up on Facebook. My Twitter is smoking hot right now. I got a really good Instagram page. What's that other app? The Chinese with TikTok. I've got a bunch of followers over there too. So I'm all over the place. Let me know anything that I can do to help you guys. That's what I'm here for. That's like what I take the pride in, right? Is I talk to my wife all the time. That's the only thing that, sit behind this microphone and running my mouth. Yeah, it inspires people and I get the news out and all that stuff. But really what you guys are doing, that's what the difference is. That's where I want to be the help, is behind the scenes, helping you guys get your internet and social media set up and getting your name out there. So let me know whatever you can tackle this week, and I can talk about next Monday. Let me know. I'll put it up as banners. We'll talk about it and we'll get things going. Anything else you guys want to say before we get out of here?
Just a big thanks, man. Thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming to Arkansas, brother. Had a good time. Come back soon, man.
Absolutely. I freaking loved it. Freaking loved it. Thank y'all so much. Dakota.
Cajun, thank you. I was so stoked that you showed up to Arkansas. Real soon, we want you to get Ricky on, our governor.
Oh, yeah,
Upcoming
Ricky Harrington.
governor.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. So let everybody know what Dakota's talking about. Ricky Harrington. I talked to him. Obviously, Ricky and I know of each other. When we finally got to meet in Arkansas this weekend, I will absolutely have Ricky on the show. He's already agreed to it. I've just got to pave through a few candidates and special interviews over the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be in Pennsylvania next weekend, and in Louisiana in April, and things are going buck wild for me. Reno. Ricky, I promise you, if everything works out, I will have Ricky Harrington on before I have a very, very, very special event right in the first beginning event weekend of April, which is pretty remarkable. I just landed this gig tonight to pull this together. I'm not even going to say anything, but I'm going to try my very. Sorry, I'm talking about me now. My bad, Dakota. I will absolutely try to have Ricky on before April. I promise you. What else you got? What can we do for you though?
I will keep in touch with you personally, and when things come up, I know that you're going to help me out. Everybody will help me out, and I really appreciate it.
You absolutely freaking bet, dude. Of course, we're going to help y'all out. Y'all are the future. What we're doing right now, we got young people under 40 running for office with children. This is what we need. We have to change the country because this is our country. These are my kids' country. We're tired of 80-year-olds making decisions when they're about to die in 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm so freaking sick of this. Hearts and likes. That's a much better comment than what I have to say about what's happening in our government right now. Michael, Dakota, you guys are freaking awesome. Send me everything you need, and I will promise you I'll do my best to help y'all out. Thank you so much. I love y'all. We'll see y'all real soon. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for showing up and tuning in. A lot of viewers, not a lot of comments tonight. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. You see what we're doing in Arkansas. I imagine that this won't end here. There's going to be a couple of other people that are trying to spread the message of global liberty on this show from Arkansas, from California, from Louisiana, from New York, from Hawaii. Everybody's here. Everybody's passionate. Please stay tuned in. Share it. Comment. Tell everybody to subscribe. Whatever. Whatever we got to do to get these people that are dedicating their lives for the future of this country. Because as it looks right now, it looks rough. So what we need is a hell yeah from Kenny Johnson. We need social media for those two. That for real. Michael White. Twitter is MW4Liberty for Michael White. Fantastic. Absolutely great. Thank you guys. I love y'all so much. Wife says, great show, great conversation. Thank you, babe. I thought it went absolutely fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody stuck around to the very end. And so I appreciate y'all very much. I will see you Wednesday night. Now I'm kind of glad that everybody dropped off at the last second because now I get to make an announcement that nobody's going to hear, but you're going to hear it Wednesday. I will have Matt Kibbe on this show on Wednesday night, given no problems or anything. He is scheduled for Wednesday night. Same Cajun time, same Cajun channel, and I'm out.